Hi, this is Tina from Inner Delight, and welcome back to another We Uplift moment. I'm joined again by the beautiful Amy Myszko from Sacred Earth Herbals. Welcome back, Amy.
Hi, Tina.
I feel like a kid in the candy store because we're having so much fun playing with all these different essences that you have. And
Me too.
yeah, so I was asking you before, you were showing in a previous video the Bachflower essences, but you have so many, so you make your own too. So would you like to share one of the set that maybe jumped out at you in particular and maybe offer some insight into that for us?
Sure. Um, Another set that I use as one of my core essence sets with people and myself and animals and everyone. It's called the FES Range of Light set. So FES is the Flower Essence Society. They're great. They have a Facebook page. And they make lots of flower essences. This particular set comes from the Sierra Nevada mountains in California. And I'm not sure, I resonated really strongly with this set, and so I went ahead and got it. And what I've discovered is that this is a very modern set. This is a very like what is up right now in the world. What's going on in our planet with earth changes and things, and what's happening with a new feminine paradigm shift. In that there's being more balance brought in. The divine feminine, those energies are coming in a way that is so much more balanced and more respected. And, these things are changing the Aquarian age we're coming into. And I just find this set to be very, very appropriate for these changes. So I would love to douse this set really fast and see what comes up for us, just for the collective. Folks that are going to be watching this, and Tina and I, and the earth, whatever energies, the Unshimaka, that's what I call the Mother Earth in Dakota, but the Mother, Grandmother Earth. Let's see what's up for all of us, because these are some really, really magical essences. So I'm probably just going to do my little process quietly this time, and it'll only take me about a minute. I was thinking that it would be really fun to start doing like an essence a day on my Facebook page or something,
Yeah.
where just tuning into the larger energies and letting people know what's up.
Great idea.
But I would love feedback from people as far as how they are experiencing these energies over the long distances and time changes and everything. hmm Interesting. There are so many interesting essences in this set. But I had 4 come up,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to take a peek at my book. There's a few of these that I don't know as well as the Bach. But the first one that came up is called Blazing Star.
Wow.
Oh, how interesting. Of course, I've called it in because this is what I brought up. But this is all about balancing the masculine and feminine in our own selves. So balancing the fire and the water elements. And this one comes up for people that go either one direction or the other. Either there's so much water that they feel paralyzed, that the emotional body is so overflowing that they can't take action, that they're stuck. And the other direction that this one goes is having a very strong but rigid will, that fire that just won't, take into account other energies, other people's needs, just very rigid or very flowing. So what this helps to do is to balance either of those conditions out. And that could be for men or women. Often men are fiery and women are more watery, but it's what it is it's in each of our bodily matrices, helping to balance that fire and the water. So if you have too much water and you're very emotional and you have a hard time maybe initiating things, or you just get really stuck into the emotional patterns of sadness, because that can come up a lot with people that have a lot of water. This helps to light your fire and ignite that fire underneath you so that you can initiate, you can take action, that you can use your emotional or empathic abilities to do in the world what needs to be done and not feel paralyzed. And then the opposite goes for the fiery, rigid, sort of willful people that need a little bit more flowing, a little more spontaneity, a little bit more relaxation and receptivity. So that's Blazing Star.
Oh, beautiful name.
Yellow. It's a yellow star flower. It's really beautiful. It's a mountain flower for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. And just send that out. Oh, the next one that came up is a particular favorite of mine. It's cherry. So we all know cherry blossoms, and how beautiful they are and how special and sacred to certain cultures, like the Japanese culture, for example. They have cherry blossom festivals. And this one is all about reconnecting with youthful hope and a youthful outlook when we were innocent, when we had that just deep receptivity and openness and interest and innocence. And so this one can come up for people that had oftentimes trauma in adolescence that blocked that made us put up walls, that made us kind of recede inward and not be as open, not feel as innocent. And this one can also manifest as toxic skin stuff. Like you might associate acne in the teenage years. But part of it is just this feeling of toxicity, like psychically, that is manifesting on the physical level. So this one is all about healing adolescent trauma, whether it be things with women about, and guys, because we don't have good support systems in our cultures for going through those rites of passage from children into adulthood, or bad experiences with sexuality when we're young, when we're just coming into those things. And it's funny, I have a personal story on this. I was dousing for this. I douse for myself most days if I'm being good or if I'm feeling. I mean, I know it's good for me, so it's one of those things that the older and wiser I get, the more I remember to do it really regularly for myself. But I was dousing for this really regularly for a while, and I just don't get it. And then I ended up getting a hula hoop. And having so much fun, just innocent joy, just pure joy. There's nothing else. It was just so fun. Made me laugh, made me smile. And I was like, oh, I get it. I get that. I had lost that. I forgot what it feels like just to have something so simple create so much joy. Beautiful. So that was my experience of this one. But I've seen it help a lot of people, especially women that have gone through traumatic things in adolescence. Helping regain that hopeful, innocent outlook on life.
It's like being able to experience that childlike essence again, huh? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That inner child, really reconnecting with that. If we've shut it off because we were injured or somehow needed to protect ourselves, so it's so fun to reconnect with that. For me, anyway, I have fun. As you can tell. Okay. Oh, how interesting. The next one that came up is Dune Primrose. So it's in the evening primrose family. It's a desert essence. I think I resonate with these so much because I live in the mountains and it's also the desert. So there's a lot of real similar plants here. And so this one has to do with reconnecting to a nurturing maternal presence in the spirit world. It's when we feel cut off from the mother, the divine mother, basically. And this one can come up for people that have been cut off from their physical mother on this planet, on this manifestation. Also, people that have had some sort of birth trauma or their mother was pregnant with them during very difficult circumstances. So this one comes up for prenatal trauma a lot. But it's also really useful for those people that have that feel or have found themselves to be disconnected from the divine mother, that maternal presence in the spirit world, feeling alienated from that. So this one is all about reconnecting with that and realizing that she's right here, and we can just walk barefoot on her, sit on her, and just ask her to cradle us and hold us. I think Nalini was talking about that last
I
night.
know. I'm thinking, oh my God, this is like a heart space essence.
Yes. Yeah. Well, this set to me is very, I don't know, that's just what it is. It's very much about getting back into the heart space with the divine feminine and the earth and our connection to those things that we've lost. Many of us have lost or just perceived to have lost, because I think that the ultimate truth is that it's there. we just kind of can sometimes forget about it and forget to ask for help and forget to connect. Because it's right. She's right there, waiting just to support us and hold us and love us and heal us and,
So, but this would help heal then perhaps also. I think many of the things that I hear people talk about or that comes up is that trusting that Divine Mother, there somehow seems to be through old conditioning, a program in place that if you surrender into the arms of the Divine, then she's going to dump you or something, something to take everything that you love from you. And it's like, where did that come from,
Yeah, I was just running into that paradigm where people were like, Mother Nature is not your friend, and like she's scary, and like she'll kill you. It was like a survivalist class, which is very good information to know how to go out in the mountains and be safe and have things you should have, right? And I'm just thinking, you wouldn't be here if the Divine Mother hated you. Like if nature, like everything you have is from her. Like the air you breathe and the water you drink and the food you eat and the sun that is shining. It's like, so there is this fear paradigm, I think, like that Mother Nature is very scary somehow. And she's a force that must be respected, but she's not scary. She gives us everything we have. So yeah, I resonate with what you said about that. So I'm going to go ahead and take a few drops of this. And this is, I would consider, a trauma essence also for the earth and for people. I know that feel that all that trauma that disconnects us from our connection to the earth. But systematically our culture does that. So, yeah. Really interesting essences. I think I called in the really strong ones. Because we need them, actually. And, this is what's up. So the next one, the last one, I asked for 4, just because that seemed like a nice number for each set, at least. The fourth one that came up is called Green Cross Gentian, and it looks like a cross. It's a green flower. So those two things can kind of tell you some about what it's for. But this one has to do with maintaining hope and resolve for world service despite perceived difficulties or setbacks with the earth, as far as man-made disasters and trauma and difficulty. So it's feeling overwhelmed or despair or feeling defeated as in regards to the condition of the world, of the earth herself. So, we all get there. It just seems so daunting. How are we going to fix all this? How are we going to change this? And this one is particularly for when people are feeling like they're actually carrying the cross of the world on their back, And so one thing that I like to remind people when this one comes up is that she's carrying you. And yeah, we are all here to do our work and to help heal her and to heal our species and to come back into the right relationship with all of the other beings that we share this planet with. But, when we get into this mode of like, I am carrying the burden of all of these things of the Mother Earth on my shoulders, which I think a lot of women do, and it actually ends up in their physical matrix with the reproductive system and like a lot of things, I think we can carry in our bodies, like that pain and the trauma and all of these things. So I think this one helps to feel courageously in alignment with healing the earth and with that as a sacred activism. Without feeling like taking on that burden to the point where you become defeated and despairing. So it's a pretty good one.
Yeah. So I can hear all the different elements of people speaking in the Revolution for Evolution. And,
right.
Like Brad and Leslie are going to be talking about from apathy to empathy.
Right. It's so easy to ignore it or just to like, I'm too small to do anything.
Yeah.
So take those little steps of like, I'm going to do what I can do, but I'm not going to be paralyzed and overwhelmed by fear or despair.
Yeah.
So,
beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, pretty strong stuff. So I'll take this and send that out. So that's just a little sampling of some of the beautiful medicine that exists in that set. And the amazing thing with flower essences is that it takes a few flowers to make a mother essence, and then a few drops of that mother essence to make a stock bottle, like what I'm using right here, and then a few drops of that stock bottle to make a dosage bottle for medicine for somebody. So when you do the math on it, it is by far the most sustainable form of medicine that I know of, because you're using an incredibly small amount of the actual plant, and it's just calling in the energy of that spirit. And then you can just make medicine for, I don't know, millions of people, hundreds of thousands. I don't know the math. I could do the math on it probably.
I have a question.
Yes.
For you. Do you think it matters? There are all these different flower essences from different parts of the world, that some essences may work more or be more in alignment for people who are in that area, or if, for instance, I grew up in Australia and I really love the Australian bushflower essences, but that by me being away from there, that would support me in connecting with that energy. And
both, definitely. And I have the certain sets that I resonate with, and I think most healers realize eventually that they are calling in clients to them that resonate with similar things that they resonate with, because they have the tools to help them, right? But I totally believe, I think the Australian bush essences are super neat, but I've never felt called to buy them or to have them in my set. And that might change now that I'm doing this work that's so much more, international, because this is very new for me, to step out of my little community. So the essences I have are, very much like this particular set we were just playing with, feels very connected on a ley line to Crestone. I feel like the Sierra Nevadas and Crestone are on a real energetic kind of connection, and that there are many of these plants grow here. Many of these plants just really resonate with the energies here for me personally. So that certainly has influenced the sets that I have and I'm using. But I would love to be able to invest in more essences, and I have a bunch actually that I was gifted by an elderly woman that wasn't using them anymore, that I have to learn how to use, that I really have to connect with, and I've developed a real strong relationship with these ones, I guess is what I'm saying. But absolutely, people, there are essences being made from all over the world, Amazon and Tibet, and Japan, and Africa, and Australia, and Europe for sure. I mean, Bach is from England. And so, yeah, definitely people that are interested in doing this work themselves, should, I think, see who's doing what locally and what, what local things resonate with them, because I think that is really valid. And then there's just universal things that everyone experiences, or that's up for the whole collective consciousness. So as we develop into more of a one kind of unity culture, I think that will be less applicable.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So for people to be able to experience a session with you, they can go to your website and book something. This sacredearthherbals.com, and you also have your beautiful page on Facebook, Sacred Earth Herbals, so anyone can connect with you there. And do you have any last little thoughts you'd like to sprinkle on us here?
I'm just so grateful to be doing my work in the world, and to have found my calling, and I just truly love it. And it's so fun because every time you make an essence for someone, it's totally unique. I've never made the same two essence formulas, it's so interesting. So I love it, and it's truly my passion. Also, I am still working on my website, and I'm going to try to get a calendar program so that people could schedule themselves in. Right now, it's basically set up so that you just send me the PayPal, and then I'll contact you and schedule a time that works for both of us. But I'm trying to get it a little more automated, and all that fancy stuff. So
yeah, well, I think it's just wonderful to be able to share this with you here, for you to share this with us, really. And I look forward to people watching this to share their experiences on the Facebook page. That would be awesome to hear how people respond to this, because while you were taking the drops, I could feel it. It's like I feel the shivers in my energy field, in my body. Yeah,
I would love to hear people's feedback. Absolutely. And I'll post the video on my site and on my Facebook page and on Whispering Energy, I'm sure. And so yeah, either place if people want to respond with how they've been feeling. And down the line in the future, I'd love to do some multinational flower essence provings, which is basically, when you make a new essence and there hasn't been information that has been compiled about what it does, what the energies do, I would love to do that with, a community of people that's outside of just my little local community. So,
Awesome. So they
so if
better.
people are interested in that too, that would be super fun.
Great. Well, they can share on Facebook and interact there. And I look forward to hearing much more from you because what you're sharing is absolutely gorgeous, totally resonates with me. And I think one of the things that really, really, really is such a gift from spending time with you in this way is seeing how passionate you are about what you're doing. And for people to spend time with you, that's going to definitely awaken their passion in them. So if they're not sure yet, I'm sure that's going to get clear. Beautiful.
That's it's an interesting thing you bring up because there are quite a few essences that have a lot to do with helping people find what their passion is and helping them find their work in the world. And I just couldn't say enough about them. I could talk for hours, so I'll stop.
We'll do a few more segments. Stay tuned for more. Thanks, Amy, for being here. And until the next one, many joyful blessings.
Thank you, Tina.